Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another bad movie review. Today, I'd like to talk to you about Son of Kong, the stunning, thrilling sequel to King Kong. Okay, it's not that impressive. This movie is also from 1933. The approximate runtime is about 69 minutes. Um, it really should have been called The Redemption of Carl Denham, because the plot really seems to focus around him. The general concept is that in an effort to avoid any legal entanglements, including an indictment by a grand jury, Carl Denham and Skipper Engelhorn from the first movie head out to sea, and they head out to Eurasia in the South Pacific, mainly. Kind of nebulous there. They go to several places to take up like freighter runs on the Venture, Mr. Engelhorn's ship. Denham runs into Hellstrom, the man who sold him the map to Kong Island from the original movie. Hellstrom tells the two about a treasure on Kong Island in order to gain passage on their ship to escape a murder rap. And then they end up finding a stowaway in the way of Hilda, who is the daughter of the man that was murdered by Hellstrom. And things get wacky from there. So the SS Venture is once again back out on Kong Island, where they discover the son of Kong, who they call Little Kong. And insert your own euphemism there. You see the return of Robert Armstrong as Denham, Victor Wong as Charlie the Cook, and Frank Reicher as Engelhorn, and Noble Johnson as the Chief. The Chief just makes a brief appearance. And you also get some screams from Fay Wray because they recycled those, which I believe are uncredited. But overall, and the technical aspects were pretty good. I think the special effects were a little weak. The acting was fine. Helen Mack was okay as Hilda. She was fine. She's a decent actress. She's not as good as Fay Wray, in my opinion, who I thought was a much stronger actress. There are a lot more jokes in this one. They're a little more dry, like when Denham says, "Did I catch a monkey, lady? You'd be surprised," or something to that effect. What kind of bothered me about this one was Little Kong. He was very much more anthropomorphized. He made expressions that humans make, and it was a little more pantomime, and he had weird nipples, which is neither here nor there, but it bothered me through the entire thing. So that it kind of bothered me that they kind of kiddied it up and made it a lot more kid-friendly. It wasn't as violent as the first movie, but that also affected the pacing. It made it a little bit more of a slow movie and more of a character-based movie, which seemed to focus more on Carl Denham. And Robert Armstrong was a great actor, don't get me wrong. He did fine in the film, and it was mainly a story about him. And Victor Wong, it was nice to see him get some more screen time this go around. And he got billing, which was really surprising for an Asian actor in the 30s. So that was kind of nice to see. But overall, the movie is very short, and it looks like they kind of maybe threw it together a little quickly. So the pacing's off. It looks a little rushed. The technical aspects aren't as good, and you don't see as much of the claymation as you did in the first movie. So they seem like they kind of cut corners in order to get a cash grab because of the success of the original King Kong. Although this one does feature an interesting ending and kind of a downer ending. Apparently, the island is run by the Cincinnati Zoo because Kongs don't live very long. But overall, it was a fun film. I recommend it. Only as a sequel, and it has sequel effect where it's not as strong as the first. But if you watch the first movie and you want to know what happened afterward to some of the characters, it is a good postscript in that regard. Beyond that, it's not a spectacular movie. It's but it's not an entirely forgettable movie either. It's just kind of mid-range. It did hold up pretty well, not as good as the original. And like I said, the effects and the quality of the film are a little lower. And some of the acting isn't quite as good. They didn't have as good top billing. Robert Armstrong really carries the movie. But I would recommend it, especially if you like giant monster movies. It was an entertaining film for an hour. I got my copy, like I've said previously, on the Kong collection that had King Kong and Son of Kong. I got it on DVD at Walmart for like $5. I'm sure you can find it online. I know it's on Blu-ray, but it's about $20. And I don't think it's worth that. It's an entertaining movie if you get it in a multi-pack, but no, it's not $20 good. I know it's on some of the streaming services. Amazon had it. I think it was around $4 or $5, which is worth that. If you know, like I said, you want to follow up to the first movie and you want to see some more giant monkeys. This ape does not come to New York, and much like King Kong, he looks very much like a gorilla, but he doesn't walk on his knuckles like real gorillas do. He walks on hind legs, so you get used to that. But overall, it was an interesting follow up. I'd get it in the multi pack. I don't know about on its own. It didn't do that for me. So yep, I'm recommending it, but not in so much that I would be willing to buy it on Blu-ray by itself for more than like $5. But I tend to buy things, physical copies. If you get it on streaming service for about $5, it's probably worth your time. Check it out, see what you think. Let me know in the comments section. And if you like what I had to say, check out some of the other broadcasts we did. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening.